This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yo. Hey everybody, how the hell's it going? See, I got my freak gear on with you guys. My face looks really chubby like a chipmunk because this thing squishes it up, okay? But, you know, if I was going to take it off, you know. I think I have it on rewind mode accidentally. So I don't know how far ahead I am going to be of you guys, but definitely will be ahead. But look at all the freaks wearing their gear. Should be some new ones in there every once in a while. Yeah. Oh, and just the update on me, for those of you who give a shit, is I do have tomorrow. I'm doing a medicine call with UW with their surgeon. And then finally the pain medicine people, the new people that I told them I don't want the other one. They called me, and I have a telemedicine thing on the 5th, which is quicker than the other one. And, you know, so things are moving forward now. It sucks to have to actually be your own advocate all the time. It's like, you know, it's ridiculous. You'd think they would care enough about people, but it's not. They don't a lot of times. UW seems pretty normal, that's for sure. But I'll let you guys know what they say tomorrow. That says you're not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming. Am I buffering with you guys? Yeah, it's progress. So. Anyways, enough about that. Oh yeah, let me remember to turn down the music, because with the way I have my headset on, you can barely, you can hear it, but it's hard to know. Okay, so here we go. The first bit of information is in the Madeleine McCann. That's pretty interesting. Madeleine McCann, police find a hidden cellar during an allotment search. A hidden cellar has been found in the hunt for Madeleine McCann. It has been confirmed. German police discovered the basement in the foundation of a building in Ciesla near Hanover, where kidnapping suspect Christian, I mean, this is the guy that they've been looking at. He had a hidden basement. I mean, it's starting to sound something like right out of a movie or some shit, but sounds like it's real. Hey, thanks Liz Parsons and Nicole Marie. Investigators accompanied by special search dogs. My voice might sound different because of this pressure of this thing. Have been removing slabs of building materials. Wow. Thank you. Liz Parsons and Nicole Marie. tonight on NBC. Investigators accompanied by special search dogs have been removing slabs of building materials in a 2-day search of the vegetable garden. Wolfgang Kosik, 73, who owns the plot next to Bruckner's former allotment, said Bruckner had lived off the grid at the site in 2007. I remembered his face from the pictures in the news, and I remember his van and his dogs. I had completely forgotten about him up until then. Christian Bruckner had the garden next to mine. He arrived in 2007 and left within a year. He told me that he was living off the grid and that had not registered with authorities. No one knew he was there. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that seems really interesting about this guy, for sure, don't you think? I just hope finally there's answers, especially to put to rest all of the conspiracy people out there that have always blamed the parents. You know, you might still blame them, like, oh wow, they could have taken better care of their kids, but I don't know. It seems like when you're at a resort, you know, and they're sleeping in the room, and you're at a pool just 100 yards, you know, you can see your room actually. That's not that crazy. You know, maybe it's not what you would do because everybody out there is a super mom when they didn't do it. But, you know, that's about the only thing I could maybe go, okay, well, so you just don't like the fact that they left their kids alone in the room. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, but everybody always says that, you know. I think if you were at a resort and you can see your room and they're just kind of sleeping, and, you know, I think it's just sort of being overly judgmental just because something happened. I guarantee it, millions of people do the same thing and nothing like that happens. Yeah. Okay, so that is the update on that. They seem to have found a secret, like a cellar where that guy used to live. Okay, now this is an update on the case that we were covering the other day. Charges filed against Gibson County woman for abduction hoax. I think she should. I'm glad. And I think they should make her pay every nickel back for it, and then also do some, you know, racial stuff, you know, because she tried to like pin it on a black person. You know, there's something wrong with this girl. Okay. Gibson County prosecutor Michael Cochran says he's filed false informing charges against Hannah Potts. You know, the idiot. I talked to his brother the other day, the one that's family has disowned her. And 2 others, so there was 2 other people for planning and executing an abduction hoax on July 26, 2020. According to Cochran, Potts, with the assistance of Joshua M. Thomas and Maria S. Hopper, urged that law enforcement be notified after posting onto social media that she'd been abducted. So that not only did they didn't just sort of make a hoax for the family, they actually willfully tried to get law enforcement involved. Thomas and Hopper allegedly assisted in hiding Potts, and according to the prosecutor, Cochran were untruthful when confronted by law enforcement concerning her whereabouts. Ultimately, Potts was found at Thomas and Hopper's residence in Gibson County. Ms. Potts' actions are criminal in nature, said Prosecutor Cochran. She said many people in her family and community worried sick over her personal health and safety. Further, she risked involving innocent individuals by giving a false description of the alleged abductor. Right. A black man driving a maroon vehicle. Finally, the number of hours spent by multiple law enforcement agencies in this time of limited resources is simply not recoverable. I think they should make her pay it off. Literally have a lien against her and have her pay every freaking nickel of that off. And let's see how she acts at that point. Maybe it might change her a little bit. Anyways, we covered it. I talked to the brother. I absolutely thought there was something going on that wasn't nefarious. And when I was talking to the brother, I have a recorded call. I go, come on, don't you think? I mean, she's telling everybody, Mom, call the police. But yet she didn't call the police. This isn't the same as other cases. This is one where she had the opportunity. She realized, that she was in danger, even though she really wasn't. But she should have called the police, and it was really obvious. Well, it was about 60-40. I wouldn't say really obvious, because even the brother said there were some things that they weren't able to explain. Okay, so that's it on that one. Good for the police. I think they should throw the book at her. Whatever the maximum is for whatever that is, they should get. Okay, now there's new details have come out in the Frostproof triple murder trial here, or not trial, the case where they have, I guess, if somebody can find it for me, let me know. But I want to have the actual PDF of the autopsy, and I want to have the warrant. Okay, because apparently they're out there. Let's see. Arrest affidavit for Tony T.J. Wiggins, William Robert Wiggins, and Mary Claire Whitmore, the three alleged assailants in the July 17 shooting along Rural Lake, Streety Road in Frostproof, detail the fatal wounds to each of the three Polk men. Arrest affidavit for three alleged assailants on July 17th shooting along Rural Lake, Streety Road, and Frostproof, detail the fatal wounds to each of the three men. William Robert Wiggins, 21, told Polk County Sheriff detectives he watched his brother shoot Brandon Rollins, 27, Kevin Springfield, and Damon Tillman. Wiggins said he drove his brother to Lake Streety along with Mary Claire Whitmore after hearing that Springfield was meeting friends there to go fishing. This is exactly what the sheriff was telling us. There's nothing weird. It's just exactly what he was telling us. He said as they pulled up on the three friends, where Tillman was in one truck and Springfield and Rollins were in another, and he witnessed the gunfire according to the affidavits. One bullet hit Rollins in the left shoulder and another in the area of his left collarbone, detectives stated, referencing an autopsy. The third bullet hit his right firearm, or I think it meant to say forearm, also striking the fingertips on his right hand. Dr. Stephen Nelson, who conducted the autopsy, recovered one projectile from Rollins' lower back. Springfield was shot twice, one in the neck and one in the head, the arrest affidavit states. Both bullets passed straight through his body. Tillman, who Robert Wiggins said was the last to be shot. Hey, thanks. It's me, Tammy. I should have made my lower... I still haven't made that next tier. I was going to make a tier that's the most expensive one for, people can get a hoodie and a shirt throughout the year for free. I mean, not free, because it's part of, yeah. So Tillman, who Robert Wiggins said was the last to be shot, was hit 3 times in the chest and once in the right arm, according to the affidavit. Robert Wiggins told detectives he tried to stop his brother after the first shot was fired. So he did say he tried to stop him. See, this is exactly how we pictured it. Do you remember? That the brother and the girl probably aren't anywhere near as evil at all. Okay, they probably just got sucked into a nightmare. And and as I stated on the show, I would throw the absolute book at TJ for shooting and killing them. And I would give the other guys, 10, 15 years, something like that. or even less. You know, because the thing is really, I mean, let's say they had no clue the brother was going to do that. I mean, that means they don't have the mal intent. Like, I care about somebody's heart, you know? Like, who is somebody? You know, when you have an evil person like the TJ scumbag that shot them all up, and then you compare it to people who, you know, they drove out there and they didn't have a clue that was going to happen. I don't put anywhere near the same level of punishment on those people. Okay? And I know a lot of people, oh, that's bullshit, Gray, that's bullshit. Well, that means something's wrong with you. Okay? Because I'm for punishing evil people with ill will in their hearts. Okay? That's what I like to do. And I won't dislike you if you disagree. I'm just saying I totally disagree with you. Okay? Hey, at least I'm making myself laugh over here, guys. All right. Wiggins stated after the first shot, he got out of the white pickup he was driving and ran towards TJ to try to stop him. Oh, let's see right here. Robert Wiggins told detectives he tried to stop his brother after the first shot. He tried to run over and stop him, though the shooting was done before he could get him, according to the affidavit. He also said he heard his brother repeatedly asking Springfield, "Where is it?" and Springfield replying that he didn't know what TJ Wiggins was talking about. Detectives have said TJ Wiggins had accused Springfield, a mechanic, of selling the engine from his truck. As Rollins lay dying, he called his father for help. Cyril Rollins raced to the area where they often fished. Wait a minute. I thought you guys said that the dad had something to do with it. You remember? Oh my God. Why didn't he call with his kid's phone? My God. Oh. Yeah. You see how lame the people who kept saying that over and over again sound right now? As Rollins lay dying, he called his father for help. At the time, Rollins was still alive and attempting to speak. The arrest affidavit states, though his father was unable to understand him. When deputies arrived, they found a Dollar General bag in Tillman's truck with purchases he had made about 10 minutes before Rollins had called his father. Further investigation revealed that Wiggins' brother had been in line behind Tillman at the dollar store, and a clerk. You know what's amazing is that sheriff really got to feed all of us the information. Like, he told us almost everything that we needed to know in this case. And that's why you gotta love that guy. As the investigation continued, detectives discovered the bullet casings. Wait, hold on, let me finish this part up here. So he's in behind Tillman at the dollar store, and a clerk had overheard Tillman tell them he was going fishing with Springfield, according to the affidavit. Wow. So Tillman. Oh, I see. Okay, that's right. So he told. We knew that from the. I thought he was saying. I thought I was just reading something different right there. As the investigation continued, detectives discovered the bullet casings found at the scene matched casings found where T.J. Wiggins and Whitmore, his girlfriend, were living. The elder Wiggins is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder and is being held in custody without bail. His brother and Whitmore each have been arrested on allegations of accessory after the fact of capital felony, and remain in Polk County Jail. So it does sound like they're already on the route of lesser charges. I'm not sure what, those might bring. All 3 and other family members were staying in campers at a campground along Sarver Avenue, a pothole-laden clay road west of Frostproof. Here, let's see. Ah, shit. Okay, we already had that. Do my pin. So somewhere on this little road right there, just an absolute shithole of a of a road. On Friday, Tony Wiggins Sr., his brother-in-law, Robert Keene, 43, Nydia Lavette, Libby, 55, and Cheyenne Marie Eccleston, 20, were arrested on allegations of violating environmental laws. So they're just kind of going after all of them now, trying to maybe get some extra information. And there you go, huh? Just a real nice-looking family there. Good stuff. All right, well, that's pretty much the update on that one. But I'd like to have the actual document itself so I can see and try to theorize, you know. It seems like the brother pretty much said exactly what happened, okay? Seems really obvious. Okay, you ready? Moving on to the next one. So the case we were covering yesterday, I put a post in the community section for everybody. It wasn't just for members. Really bizarre circumstances here. St. Pete mom reported missing with teenage daughter dies of medical episode in Nebraska, police said. So after doing that whole trip and leaving together, she dies of a medical episode. I'm going to need more information on this one because it just seems way too coincidental. Don't you think? I mean, you got these two people who drive on this long trip trying to get away from something or do whatever the hell they're doing. And one of them, and the mother, dies when she goes into a bathroom. They were heading to, I think, like Nebraska, which I think is almost exactly on that route that we were looking at. Yeah, so I mean, both those cases are in Florida. So here we go. This is the green line that I had from yesterday.
Freaks.
And Nebraska's just right in right here, I believe. Yeah. So look at that. They're heading just like that. Boom. Or that's Kansas, excuse me. Let me get to the one where my brain's not working. Ugh. Hold on, let's see. Let me see this one. So if they went like that. I'm just trying to check to see what, you know, when they stopped here at Tennessee, how close that they were going to be. Yeah, so they would have gone through Kansas and then up into Nebraska. So it's the same angle. See that? Like, you know, I think even on the show I go, hey, maybe they went up in here somewhere, you know, just because it's trajectory going in that direction. They're saying it was a stroke or something. I don't know. Aren't you guys finding it just a little too weird, though? I did come up with a conspiracy theory based on information. Okay, you guys want to hear it, even though it's a little out there? I don't normally do that, but it is based on the information that we have. Yeah, so here's the conspiracy theory is, you know, I'm just going to ask, you know, maybe, I don't think there's very good odds of what I'm saying, so don't go, see, Gray, you did the world. I don't think this is a wild, it's not wild. Okay, so maybe the daughter sort of made her go on this deal. And that's what would explain, because, you know, I was trying to explain the scrubs, you know? Like, she put them on to trick the father-in-law or something, but I don't know. Maybe she really was planning on going to work, And while she's at that, withdrawing money, it was under actually being forced to do something. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. And then they drive up there, and then maybe the kid slips or something. It's all an insurance deal, okay? Because it just seems way too weird that you got people that drove away, and then one dies, just boom, on that very same trip. And that would explain a few things, like they go to the bank telling machine, transfer money around. It's leaving later than normal. But apparently, though, they see them loading stuff into the car, and maybe the girl was going to just take off the daughter, and that's why she brought the dogs, but didn't want to be tracked with the phones. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that's not very good odds. The truth is, maybe she just died randomly. But man, how weird is that? The whole, a lot of people are looking for this couple, the mom and child missing, and by God, one of them dies mysteriously in a bathroom on that very trip. It's like Melissa Pesky in a way, just too strange. I know she didn't have the wig on, so what I'm trying to say is I thought originally she was trying to make it look like to the stepdad, that, oh yeah, I'm going to work, and so everything seemed normal, but maybe she was, getting ready for work and sort of forced to do something. Do you get what I'm saying? Now I'm going to read some comments. Oh, man. There we go. Ugh. Hate having to turn my head all the way over like that. Nah, because that's not what happened there. Alicia. The mom died when she went into the bathroom. Let's just go through this. Police in St. Pete say a 46-year-old woman reported missing with her teenage daughter last week died Wednesday morning after a medical episode. According to police, Angela Jolley died at the hospital after her daughter, 19-year-old Alexis Jolley, called 911 when she found her having the episode. Details have not been released on the medical episode. Police say Alexis later called a family member to let them know of Angela's death and that she was safe. That family member called St. Pete police. It could be that the mom took something too, to kill herself for some reason. I don't know. I'm having a hard time just thinking this is just sort of random. Angela and Alexis were reported missing on Thursday after Angela didn't show up for work. Police said the two women didn't tell any friends or family that they had plans to leave town. Detectives searched their home and found their cell phones. So I think for sure those were left so that they couldn't be tracked. At a press conference on Tuesday, police said there was proof the women were not kidnapped or attacked. Yep. Police said surveillance video from Thursday morning showed the two loading their dogs into Angela's vehicle. See, that's what I was saying a minute ago, where that's sort of against my sort of out there theory that I came up with. So it shows them putting the dogs in the car. I'd like to see that video, though, to see if it looks really casual or was there some other element to it. Police said their vehicle was seen the same day at 11:29. Yeah, we already went through all that. Searches for boys. Okay. All right. What do you guys think on this one? I mean, it could just be total coincidence, but man, we've covered enough cases. That just seems totally out there. I don't know. Well, there's phones all over the place. You just call, you know, in a hotel or whatever, right? I mean, that's not really that big of a question. It's not hard to make a phone call if you have to make a phone call. You walk over to somebody, you call from here, you go to a store. Yeah, that's what they say, a brain aneurysm. How do we know that, though? See, that was a quote that, like, the daughter said. You know? Yeah, you need to do an autopsy. But, I mean, wow. I mean, you're missing, and the country's looking for you in a 2-day period, and you die randomly during that time. Really? And like I said, sometimes that shit just really does happen. Yeah, we know, Becky Pooh. We know what an aneurysm is. Thank you. You know, but let's see if maybe there was drugs in her system that could create that scenario. That would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I mean, how would she know? Right, exactly. Let's see if we have anything sooner. The People magazine. Let's see what they have. Okay, her 19-year-old daughter was with her and called 911. It's heart-wrenching, says Brandy Kurtz. Because they were at a restaurant, I believe, at the time. They're so close, and the sweetest people you could ever meet. The two packed up their car with 2 dogs, left their phones and other electronic devices at home, and made a bank withdrawal and transferred money. Don't forget that. Later that morning, Angela's car was spotted in Valdosta. Yeah. Hold on. There was another article that actually said something about aneurysm, but it had quotes around it. Yeah, medical episode. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have any more information on that. But again, it's something we could, let's make sure we get the autopsy information or actual reports from medical people who say, oh yeah, she just died randomly of a aneurysm. Now, there's a lot of wild speculation out there. I don't think it's speculation based on stuff I'm seeing, but I think it's not going to be, I don't know how accurate that's going to be that the daughter had something to do with it. It just seems so weird. I mean, who would get the insurance policy if she died? Just what was the whole deal about her wearing the scrubs at that point? No, that's great for you, Becky Pooh. That just means you're a little bit weird, okay? I don't find it really that unusual that somebody would just take off out of nowhere, be missing on a trip somewhere, and then just die when the whole country's looking for him. Okay, Becky Pooh, go do your own thing. Go hide in your little closet somewhere. God, isn't that ridiculous? I don't find it weird at all. I don't find it weird at all. It's very possible it happened, but it's not. It's very crazy that everybody's looking for her around in the country, and one of them just dies naturally on that trip. You don't think that there's something weird about that? Come on. Jeez, go to do something else. That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Well, maybe she was missing hair, Ada. I mean, isn't that why people normally wear wigs? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that's weird. It doesn't even give me a second thought. It just seemed like she normally just wore a wig to work. Right. That's exactly right, Linda. Yeah, scrubs look good out there. I'm just reading all these comments. Jean wanted to let everybody know that alopecia is actually common, she said. Hey, thanks, Chrissy Paradis and Rochelle Black. Now, don't forget, we're 2 days left until the month end.
Trying to get in as many donations as possible for the month.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Kit Kat inspired mini wave. Wave woman surfing.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Meredith McKinsey. Yeah, the money transfers. Just a lot of... Look at the things that went on makes sense to somebody under duress. Like, oh, okay. Wow, she's wearing her scrubs. That means she was on her way to work. Wow, she was forced to remove money from her bank accounts and put them into these other ones. You know, I don't know. You know, that's what seems weird. But at the same time, looks like they were loading the car with the dogs, and they didn't mention that they looked under duress.
Always ready to surf. Woman surfing.
Thanks, Kit Kat. What the hell is this? Cairo said. Cairo had some crazy shit going on today, man. Man, somebody like chasing him down on a highway. I'll have to check that out one of these times. He had some video of it. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, I don't really want to have a conversation about wigs. You know, it's amazing how many people followed up with the wig comment. Yes, you missed the Madeleine McCann, Molly. You might have to go somewhere else. Sorry. Right, you'd think that the stepdad might actually know the answer.
What the hell is this?
What the hell is this? Thanks, Diana. Is it... Now I gotta ask you, is it BK? Yeah, that was a shitty... I know, but that's the sad part, Ada's. That's not really one of those ones that is useful. You know what I mean? It was a complete down the rabbit hole, nonsensical...
Let's finish month strong.
Now let's spend the next 25 minutes talking about wigs. Now I hear that they have imported wigs that are made of llama hair that are quite pleasant to look at. Be gay? Like that? Or be... Wait. Be... well, phonetically type it out. I'm having a hard time making... Beige? Beige? Do it again. Yeah, it's just not going to be, you know... Sure, if it's relevant, it's relevant. I'll send you a mug, alright? It's only relevant that she didn't have it on when she was going to go to work. So it's definitely so beggy, like Becky, but just beggy. No way, no hoodie. Wow, Angie Pangie. What'd you name it? Did you name your child Freak? Angie with her new child Freak.
in celebration of the birth of my brand new grandson and for our end of the month total.
Excellent.
Starstruck, starstruck, starstruck.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Carla Hussey. So what's the name going to be? Angie Pangie? Megazoid? Oh. Yeah, I mean, the wig's part of the case, meaning, like, she didn't have it on, and she normally did. Wait, she was trying to use the wig every day to hide who she was. Jonathan Lee Freakazoid. Oh, wait, Jonathan Freakazoid Lee, right? Is that right, Angie? Oh, no, that's the middle name. You've already taken up the middle name? Oh. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Well, you can be 36 years old or younger and have a grandchild.
Wave, wave.
Okay, I'm going to move on to another story now. Okay, this is one that people have sent me for a couple days. I got a lot of different clips we can play.
All right, this picture we're about to show you here, do you recognize this little boy? Because Miramar police, they say that they have spent the entire day searching for his parents, but so far still no luck. The child was found wandering near Southwest 68th Avenue near 18th Street. We don't know the boy's name, but if you know anything, make sure you give Miramar police a call right away.
I'll surf the wave to get out of this heat wave we're having.
Yeah, hold on. I do have the. I found. Oh wait, let me go down there. Yeah, the kid's name is Camden Cavett, and he was found right here in this apartment complex, walking around by himself. And his mother's from Alabama, and they don't really have a reason at this point of why she would have. Like the kid would just be walking around in this apartment complex. Because it's nowhere near Alabama. You know, it's almost like 1,000 miles away. Let's see. We walked around and looked to see if anyone was nearby. None of us have ever seen the baby before. That's when they called police. According to a Miramar police spokesman, authorities spent more than 90 minutes canvassing the area, knocking on doors nearby. Rodriguez, a mother herself, said, "I'm beside myself." She said the little boy wasn't wearing shoes or socks and needed his diaper changed. The police knocked on every single door. Thanks, mysterious monkey. At 8:22 p.m., Miramar police sent out a status update. We are very concerned considering we are approaching 12 hours since the child was last located. So the child was being cared for by foster parents at the time of this article.
Tonight, a desperate search underway for the mother of this little boy
now
who was
they've
found
identified
wandering alone in Miramar. Police are getting now new leads in this case tonight.
And they're worried the mother could be in danger. Local 10's Leanne Monajon is live in Miramar with what we know at this hour. Leanne.
This is the flyer that Miramar police were giving out today. This is the photo that went viral online. Now, hours later, we know this little boy's name. We know his mother's name. And tonight, at this very moment, his aunts are on their way to South Florida to be by his side. Police in Miramar say they now know who this little boy and his mother are. Right now they're looking for 21-year-old Leila Cavett. She's missing, and her 2-year-old son was found at a Miramar apartment complex Sunday morning. His name is Camden Cavett Arnold. Miramar police shared his photo to social media, and it went viral. The image eventually reaching Cavett's sisters.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour drive.
That's Camden, like no question in my mind. But the question is, why are they in Florida?
In Florida, more than 12 hours away from home in Jasper, Alabama. They say the family has no connections to South Florida.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, so it's not like she was taking a vacation just out of the blue.
Camden was found here in the parking lot of the Edge apartment complex by a woman who just left home to run an errand.
I asked him, you know, where's your mommy? And he kind of just pointed kind of like everywhere.
But it seemed the boy was all alone, so Ebony called police. Investigators created flyers, went door to door, and posted on social media.
It was because the post went viral that we were even able to see him.
Police say Leila was last seen driving a mid to late 90s model white Chevy 3500 pickup with a red or maroon tailgate and a baby on board badge.
Even if you see someone that you think is her that fits the description at
Anyone know where I can purchase a wig made entirely from llama hair?
So you saw those ants right there. They're driving more than 8.
Please just let the police department know.
So you saw those ants right there. They're driving more than 800 miles from Jasper, Alabama to come right here to South Florida. Again, you saw the description of that vehicle that Leila Cavett was last seen driving, and you saw her photo there. If you have any information that police can use to find her and put this all together, call Miramar Police or call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. We are...
Okay, and then I got a whole bunch of clips here. This is the Walker County Sheriff's Office. That was the mother right there. If anyone has seen or heard from Leila Cavett, please call the Walker County Sheriff's Office. Somebody was like really sleuthy. They go, "Wow, why does the mom drive such a big truck? That's weird." And I said, "Wow." I actually had to type in, are you crazy? People buy all kinds of different cars for whatever reason. Why are you thinking it's too big for her and her kid? It's just, it's weird how when people don't have anything to talk about, they bring up really stuff like that means nothing, okay? It's just, it's sad in a way, but, you know. It was unreal. All right. Leila Cavett's family unsure of why she would be in Florida. This is from today. We're in Alabama. She lives in Georgia. But I thought she just said that they live in Alabama. That's what they just said in the previous article. If not, those two states, we don't understand why she would be here in southern Florida. Family members at the Miramar Police Department confirmed the boy found wandering is 2-year-old Camden Cavett Arnold, the son of Cavett, who was missing. While no one immediately recognized the boy when he was found Sunday morning, police were able to use Camden's DNA to identify that Cavett is his mother. I mean, how did they do that? Anybody understand that really quick like that? Like, first of all, how did you get Cavett's mother's DNA and you processed it in like a day? When we always have this bullshit about, well, we're gonna, you know, we got to collect the DNA and it might take a few months now. We're definitely trying to stay positive, Lewis told NBC. Camden was in good health and everything when he was found. It's a little bit weird for sure. She was driving a Chevy 3500 mid to late 90s model with a maroon or red tailgate, police said. It also had a little child sticker in the window. Oh my God, what was she doing driving a 3500? There must be something to it. All right.
And new details tonight about a missing mother mystery. It began in Miramar, but now Hollywood police picking up the case. Let's go to Local 10's Sanella Sabovic live in Hollywood with the very latest for us tonight on this case. Sanella.
And Calvin, good evening to you. Miramar police turned this case over to the Hollywood Police Department, and that's because they say that missing Georgia mom Leila Cavett was spotted in the area of Hollywood Boulevard and US 441, but they stopped short of saying when she was seen in that area. New developments in the case of a missing mom from Georgia. Miramar police are now turning over their case to the Hollywood Police Department. Hollywood detectives say 21-year-old Leila Cavett was last spotted somewhere in their city. They have not confirmed where or who spotted her. The new details come just days after Cavett's 2-year-old son Camden Cavett Arnold was found wandering around a Miramar apartment complex along Southwest 68th Avenue near the Turnpike. The child went unclaimed for more than 24 hours until word spread to Alabama, where Cavett's family recognized the boy.
She has been a great mother to Camden, and she would never have just left him like that. And that's how we instantly knew that this was bigger.
The missing mom's mother, sisters, and brother
So
are
why
all
would
now
she go
in
down-
South Florida.
what's in
Released
South
these
Florida?
photos in hopes that someone might recognize Cavett. She has distinct tattoos.
You know, it makes you kind of nervous that somebody did something with her before, and then the person who has her truck merely dropped the kid off in some random neighborhood somewhere, and they have the vehicle somewhere.
One is of her son's name on her right arm and a religious symbol on her right wrist. They are desperately trying to get answers, puzzled as to why she would be in Florida to begin with.
We don't know of her having any friends or any family out here to be out here in the first place.
One potential clue is this mid to late 90s white Chevy pickup truck with a baby on board tag in the passenger side window. The last car Cavett was seen driving.
Oh my God, what's she doing
Detectives
driving
are
that?
still searching for that vehicle as the family clings on to hope.
And I definitely just want to know that my sister is okay.
And this just into our newsroom. Miramar police did find that car that Leila Cavett was last seen driving. We have a picture of it right there, the white Chevy pickup truck. I've also been in contact with Cavett's sisters all day long, and they do mention that they've been wanting to see little Camden since they arrived here in South Florida, but we are learning that a hearing is set to take place in mid-August. And police also need your help. If you may have spotted her, give the Hollywood Police Department a call, or you can call Broward County Crime Stoppers at 954-493.
Okay, so it was located.
That's the latest here from Hollywood.
By
Sanella
Miramar
Sabovic,
Police in
Local
Hollywood.
10 News.
Let's see where that is. Hold on. Okay, so it was found in the same town that Camden was moving around in. So she's either there, or the truck was merely taken there with the kid in the car. That's why the diapers weren't changed, and then eventually the person just put him out in an apartment complex, knowing, thinking somebody might do something, help him out. Huh? Yeah. Well, let's see. This is Hollywood, Florida. Is this a different area here? That's North Miami Beach, Miami Gardens. So, I don't know if it means it's right over here. I don't know what the border of Hollywood is, but... Yeah, you sort of, you start wondering about like who the father is of the child and where did he live and, things like that. Or she just met the wrong person out there. There's absolutely too little information in this case to make any kind of theory at this point. Because there's no, like, what was she doing? There's none of that information's out there about what she was doing. Where has she been spotted? Where was she last seen with some? None of that stuff's out there. So, right now we just have a weird situation where there's a child that they found in an apartment complex named Camden Cavett, the son of the missing woman. And her vehicle was missing, but it's now found. I'd like to know how close the vehicle was to the apartment complex. That'd be interesting. So if you guys get any of that, send me and I'll cover it back again tomorrow. I don't know how it's pronounced. I'll just say it however I want to say it, since I haven't heard anybody say it. Thanks, Daddy-O Caspian Horses Rock. Yeah. Well, they're technically the biological father, yes, Gene. So. Yeah, but I call my stepdad my dad because he's the only actual dad that I've had. My bio dad, even though he's a great artist, he was just my biological father. No, I didn't say that they allegedly found. Why even mention it if they allegedly found it? Robin, come on. Jesus. Hey, thanks, Jody William. Gray, have you heard that they allegedly found aliens on the moon? Okay, so you guys ready? I'm going to cover a couple cold cases that were solved today. Okay? I'm going to do the CC Moore Parabon one first. Oh, there it is. That's right, Kit Kat. Yeah, well, this one was one solved by Parabon today. But at first I'm gonna go back in time here. Okay. Excuse me. This thing is tight on my neck, so it's pressing up against my vocal cord, so sometimes I don't sound quite the same. Because normally I sound like, Casey Kasem or some shit, So here's an actual, I think it was a news article, but re-uploaded onto the internet here. Okay. A few months after her 15-year-old daughter was abducted, strangled, and thrown off a bridge, Sharon Lee moved halfway across the country. She planned to begin a long, painful process of putting her life back together. But last month, a year and a half after Melissa Lee was slain, that's right, this is about a year and a half later. Yeah, there you go.
Hope you're feeling somewhat better, Gray. Growing heart.
Well, thank you. I'm always like on this precarious edge of pain. Like this thing that I'm wearing around my neck really does help keep the weight off of that nerve, and then it sort of becomes manageable. But eventually my ears are going to be all cauliflower ears from this thing, and yeah. So anyways, let's get back to this. She planned to begin the long, painful process of putting her life back together, but last month, a year and a half after Melissa Lee was slain in 1993, Sharon Lee returned to Washington to post dozens of flyers and arrange newspaper ads that promise a $10,000 reward to anyone who has information that helps solve the case. I decided for me to get on with my life, I'm going to have to do something about the past. Police have interviewed more than 100 people and have chased dozens of leads, but still don't know much about what happened. It was between 9:30 p.m. and midnight on April 13, 1993, when police believe Melissa Lee was abducted from her family's Bothell home at 19805 Filbert Road. And this is in Washington. Oh, that's right. It's like buried in the trees. That's the house right there, though. It's kind of a weird one. It's like, how do you get to that house? This is the driveway for that one, driveway to this one, driveway to that one. Maybe it's like right there and you... I don't know. Oh, well, it doesn't even look the same anymore. That's interesting. So just in a few years since this satellite shot was taken, they've completely torn this down and put in, looks like condos, kind of like it looks like over here, you know. So I guess that's the look right there. Rinna said the house showed no signs of a struggle. He thinks the teen knew her abductor or abductors, but he declined to say why. The girl's body was found the next day at 3 p.m. in the 3700 block of Mukilteo Boulevard, just inside of Everett. She had been strangled, then thrown from a bridge into a gulch 100 feet below. So that's right here. I was having a hard time noticing that that was a bridge until I got in on it. And you can just see exactly what the person did. They went late at night, nobody was coming, just threw her body off the bridge and took off. You know, so this is what it would have looked like. You know, they just drove their car, stopped, threw her off, and she plunged 100 feet down below. It's a case that doesn't make a lot of sense, said Rinta, adding that police know of no motive. I'm really at a loss as far as where to go. This is back in 1994, this article. Sharon Lee described her daughter as sweet, gorgeous, happy, and friendly, a young woman who aspired to be a model, had many friends, and enjoyed working with the elderly. And this is her right here. Yeah. Let's see, anything in here? Yeah, so there's not much more in that article. It's new. Let me move it to 2008. There's another article in 2008 that I found online. Hopefully I can still see it. Okay, now it's missing because I used up my time. So let me try to use Firefox here. Okay, this is 2008. Melissa Ann Lee spoke with her mother on the phone the night she disappeared. She was at home. 3 hours later, when her mom returned from work, the 15-year-old girl was gone. The front door was open. There were signs of a struggle inside the Bothell house. The next day, a couple spotted Melissa's body in a brushy ravine under the Edgewater Creek Bridge near Mukilteo. She was strangled to death. The killer was never arrested. Snohomish County Sheriff's detectives included the 1993 homicide in the state's first deck of cold case playing cards. And this is her right here. Unsolved homicide, Melissa Lee. Was home alone when family members arrived home about midnight. They found the door open and signs of a struggle inside. Melissa was missing at about 3. The next afternoon, her body was found under the Edgewater Creek Bridge in the 3800 block of Mukilteo Boulevard. Yeah, so basically, you know, this case is just as cold as you can get. I mean, think how crazy that is. She just got abducted from her home. What's interesting, though, it turns out that they did talk to the person they arrested early on, but what we're going to do right now is I recorded the press conference off of a site, and then I fixed the audio because it was mono. Again, I know how you guys hate the mono. And then I boosted the audio in some sections when CC Moore's talking because it was really quiet. Okay? But I think you'll find this pretty interesting. No, there's no chance, Marissa. Jesus.
Courtney.
Up. As usual, I gotta go fix the audio hardware.
Good morning. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a big day. It's a special day. I want to start by telling you, yesterday we arrested a 62-year-old Bothell man for the 1993 murder of 15-year-old Melissa Lee. Alan Edward Dean has been booked into the Snohomish County Jail for 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree kidnapping for the kidnapping and killing of 15-year-old Melissa Lee in 1993. We took the suspect into custody around 5 p.m. last night near his residence in Bothell without incident. Dean was identified as a suspect through the process of genetic genealogy. With us today via Skype is CC Moore, the genetic genealogist who worked on this case. She will provide further details on how the suspect's DNA, which was collected from the crime scene in 1993, was used to identify relatives of his, which in turn led us to the identification of the suspect, Alan Edward Dean.
I think he was 30-something.
Following the identification of Dean, detectives subsequently acquired an abandoned DNA sample from a cigarette butt he had used. Washington State Patrol's crime lab confirmed that it positively matched the DNA profile from the crime scene evidence. Although we have the suspect in custody, this investigation still has more work to be done, and we are asking for your help. We're asking for anyone to come forward with information about Dean, specifically anyone who currently knows Dean, previously knew Dean, or knew of his activities in or around 1993. He would have been about 35 years old at the time of the murder. Anyone who recognizes Dean from the photo of him around the time of the killing, again in 1993, and or from the more recent photo of him. Dated, communicated, or has information regarding Dean around 1993 using a night talk line, and he may have been using a fake name of Mike or Michael. Anyone who has information regarding Dean having access to ethyl ether and heptane chemicals.
Subsequently. Here, listen to this, what he's saying right here, though. Listen.
Fake name of Mike or Michael. Anyone who has information regarding Dean having access to ethyl ether and heptane chemicals around the time of the crimes were committed. These chemicals were both found in Melissa's system at the time of her killing.
Isn't that crazy? You use, like, ether. You know, like one of those rags, you know, and you put it around your face and knocked her out. Jesus.
All tips and information can be reported to the Sheriff's Office tip line at 425-388-3845.
You know what's crazy is I had the hardest time. I couldn't find one newspapers.com article on that case. Nor, then well, I'm not going to give away what's coming up.
Before I turn over the podium, I want to thank all the detectives and investigators, as well as our partners with Parabon, who never gave up on getting justice for Melissa and her family. I also want to thank our partners with the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, who will play a crucial role.
No, Marissa. Man, you just way overthink stuff a lot. It's like you just immediately jump to something, They just want to know how he may have had access to it. It doesn't mean anything that he was a student or a teacher or a chemist.
And the next steps to further this case.
Come on.
I started my career about 23 years ago, and just like all of these incredible folks behind me, we all want to serve the public, we want to catch criminals, and we want to seek out justice for victims and their families. This is truly why we do what we do. This case is the perfect example of that. I'd now like to introduce genetic genealogist CC Moore with us via Skype to explain the process of her analysis.
The audio was bad anyways. You could barely hear it, so I boosted it up. You'll just be able to hear it, but I couldn't really clean it up or anything like that.
This and identify the suspect.
Good morning. Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, led by Detective Sharp, and the prosecuting attorney's office should be commended for pioneering, being among the first to pioneer this new tool.
Yeah, but he was 35. He wasn't a teacher.
Parabon is proud and honored to be a trusted partner in this endeavor. In this case, the crime scene DNA was SNP genotyped, and the file was uploaded to the GEDmatch website, where it was compared against the people participating in that website. From this, we received a list of cousins to this unknown DNA contributor. By building their family trees and looking for patterns and intersections, we were able to reverse engineer a potential identity of this DNA contributor. We then turned that over to the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office as a tip, and they proceeded to their full investigation. We'd like to thank those participating in GEDmatch that have allowed us to use their DNA for comparison in these types of cases. And our hearts go out to Melissa's family and friends, and we hope that this will eventually lead to long-awaited answers and resolution in this case. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cece. Next, Snohomish County Prosecuting Attorney Adam Cornell would like to give a brief statement.
Good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to thank Sheriff Fortney for his leadership in this case. I'd also like to praise the work of the cold case team and the major crimes unit with the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office. This is an example of the hard work and excellent work that the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office does every day to protect our community. And it's not just the high-profile cases like this that bring you all here, but it's the work that the Sheriff's Office does every day to protect folks in our community. So I want to praise them for their work. I think it's also important to say, and this was alluded to by Ms. Moore, that this isn't our first rodeo when it comes to a partnership like this. There was a mention, at least implicitly, of the successful investigation and the prosecution of William Talbot. That was a partnership between our office and the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office. And frankly, that was, in my understanding, the first trial of its kind in the country to use genetic genealogy. And we're proud to work with the Sheriff's Office on this case. So I want to say a couple things about what I anticipate the charge to be in this matter. I anticipate the filing of formal charges very soon. I anticipate that Mr. Dean will be charged with first-degree murder. If convicted, he faces a standard sentencing range of 240 to 320 months, and we will be asking today that the defendant be held on $2 million bail. With regard to the prosecution of this case, as you all know, the state has the burden of proving every element of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt. And to that end, this case is being assigned to among the best and the most experienced in my office. Here with me today is Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Craig Matheson and Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Laura Twitchell, both of whom I can trust with any case that comes before our office. I would also recognize Camion Quillen, who is one of our longtime victim advocates who will be assigned to the case. Ms. Lee, this case and your daughter is in good hands. So the prosecution of Mr. Dean is the next step, and we have work to do. I'd like to say that his successful prosecution will be the last chapter, but we know that that's not the case.
Well, it is life because he's like 60 years old, and 25, 30 years he's going to be dead.
Because no cop, no prosecutor, and no court
That's the
can
minimum,
bring Melissa
by the way.
back to life. But we can do everything in our power to provide her a measure of justice. We're with you, Ms. Lee, and we will continue to be.
What do you mean you have no sound? Why do you keep typing in no sound, everybody?
Thank you.
What are you talking about?
Melissa's mother, Sharon Lee, flew out to attend this press conference today, so I'm very thankful I got to meet her a little while ago. I'm thankful you're here today, and I'd like to bring her up, and she'd like to give a brief statement.
I mean, I saw Richard Watts type it in, and then I just
I'm
saw
just happy I
Kubitschek
gotta
type it in.
live long enough to see this happen.
See, this is the mom that we were just talking about a minute ago. Remember, she moved away and then came back a year later to pass out flyers. You know, so she's had to wait all these years. And she just really can't say anything, but she makes one comment, which is, I don't think anybody disagrees. Here we go.
Whatever you want to do. It's totally fine.
I hope he rots in hell.
I hope he rots in hell. Amen!
Okay, I'd like to thank Sharon. I know that's incredibly difficult, and thank you for even being here today. I know it's many years later than we would have hoped, but I am glad this is a good day that we're one step closer to bringing justice for your daughter and for your family. I am going to take questions. I want to caution everybody, this is an active investigation. I'm going to introduce...
I mean, what else are you going to say, right? Oh, yeah. You know, I want to thank all the people for... No, because all you're thinking about is all those years ago, my daughter was just ripped out of the house and murdered. You know? Strangled, murdered, probably sexually assaulted. And I'm sure that's how they, you know, maybe that's how they have some DNA. Although, no, they got the DNA off of a cigarette butt that somehow he had in the house. Like, how did that happen? What an idiot.
Detective Brad Wavotny, who was the lead on this case. If you have questions about the specifics of this case, he will answer if he is able to. Again, we want to make sure this is successfully prosecuted, and so we're going to be careful there. I can't...
Yes, Chrissy Paradis, we all survived the Daybell catastrophe prediction.
Almost donation day. Want to see July 2020 to celebrate surviving S end of globe prediction.
I wonder why...
Wave woman surfing.
I wonder why Chrissy Paradis is... I mean, not Chrissy Paradis. Christina Kubitschek's audio, she couldn't hear it either. I wonder if there's something, you know, going on there.
Can't say enough how important the work that both at the prosecuting attorney's side of the house and our side of the house with this. These cases are complicated. They take years, literally years to come together, sometimes decades like this case, and they're expensive. So I just can't thank you. And we have Sergeant Fenner over here with our major crimes unit, and I'll bring up Detective Brad Wavotny for questions if you have them. Thank you.
Good morning. Any questions?
Can you elaborate? I mean, we see this so often on on these fictional crime shows where boom, there's DNA evidence, and snap of the finger, it's solved. That's not actually how real life works. Can you elaborate?
Oh, that's right. That's right. So we weren't part of the 144,000. They might be having a great time right now. We just don't know it. Is that what you're saying? So this is hell that we're living through, and they went on somewhere else. A little bit like the Heaven's Gate people they all got on Hail Bop. You remember that?
Just how...
Oh, wait. No, their bodies were found in bunks, dead.
Intricate this was to connect all these pieces after 27 years that led to this arrest. How much work goes into something like this?
Thousands of hours. I mean, lots of resources, lots of money. This is 27 years ago. So things have changed over the years, scientifically speaking. I never thought I'd say this, but science is cool. It's gotten a lot better, obviously. We wouldn't be here today without science, and 6 or 7 detectives have worked this case throughout the last 27 years. And I just got this case in January, so a lot of the work was done. It was just about putting it together. And, going through all the paperwork and finding out what needs to be looked at again, what can be sent off for further testing. So we wouldn't be able to do it without the support from our agency. My Sergeant Scott Fenter, he is a huge part in these cases. I mean, his investigative mind is incredible. So he has ideas all the time, and we talk about that constantly. Our volunteers, we have a retired Superior Court judge. We have 2 retired prosecutors on our team. We have a retired court reporter and a retired DOC supervisor. So there's a lot of moving parts, and a lot of people's hands are involved in this. But like the sheriff said, this is just the beginning. I mean, I have a lot of work to do. We have detectives right now spread out throughout the country doing interviews as we speak.
Do you think that this is going to be a start, that, you know, the dominoes start to fall in that other cold cases and those families out there who, you know, are in similar positions as this family right here? Is this a beacon of hope for those families?
Yes, Ada, they're going to go over all that.
Decades and years, you know,
I mentioned it earlier.
And any results. Is this the start of that?
It's the start. It's the beginning. It's just the beginning. You know, we went to South Carolina in May and
Thanks,
met with
Sharon
and Paul and Melissa's sister Kelly. And us being at their door, it brought back a lot of sadness, but also, you know, excitement. I mean, right now, this is our third, obviously, genealogy case that we've solved.
Yeah, how about this? Right now, a lot of you guys are slacking and not hitting
Just
the
in case
like
there is
button.
no show tomorrow, I would love donation wave for my B-Day. Woman surfing, woman surfing, woman surfing.
We'll have to remember it's Kit Kat's birthday tomorrow. Here we go, listen. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, goddammit, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Hit the like button, do something for God's sakes, hit something, the like button, the dislike button, do something, do something, do something, do something, do something, do something. My God. We gotta get it over 200 or we're just gonna forget it. Hit the like button, 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 hit the like button.
30. You want to 30, sir. 25 of them, you're out. I'm 25, 30, now 5. I'm 35.
Hey, I'm gonna sing happy birthday! Wow, what's that extra little sound in the background? Your voice is starting to sound really weird. You mean myself? Yeah, yourself, okay. Happy birthday to Kit Kat! Happy birthday to Kit Kat! Happy birthday to Kit Kat! Happy birthday to you!
And many more. That's in case we forget it tomorrow. All right.
In honor of Kit Kat Speedy Surfing.
So what are we at now for the likes?
There's 7 more right now that we're working on.
What is your message to anybody who thinks they got away with it?
I mean, I don't play games. I mean, you know, we work with the facts. We work with, you know, the evidence, and, you know, the evidence will lead us to where we need to go. You know, anybody that does something like this, they should be concerned. I mean, like I said a little bit ago.
Thanks, Crystal Ann,
Science is an amazing thing.
Miss
And it's getting better and better.
Tracy,
Patricia M, to anything that we know
Missy
about
Paradis, Rochelle
this guy,
Black,
Alan Edward Dean?
and Kit Kat.
Were there any indications in his criminal record to indicate that he had done something like this before or had acted in a
Yeah,
violent
so here's this part's interesting right here. Listen to this.
nature in the past?
Yes. So it'll be in super form, the booking paperwork, but also an affidavit, a search warrant I did. 8 years previous, he was in Arizona, and there was a similar circumstance involving a sexual assault of a minor.
Have you ever been someone you looked at previously?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Kit Kat.
Yeah, his name
Nice
came
to
up
hear
early
you
on in the
laughing,
investigation
Gray.
in 1993. He was talked to a couple times by detectives, but...
I'll rewind it.
Have you ever been someone you looked at previously in the case?
Yes. Yeah, his name came up early on in the investigation in 1993.
I love being a part
Isn't
of
that
the
crazy?
Freak family. Heart
They actually
thumbs
has the
up,
right
thumbs
guy
up, purple heart.
early on. Thanks, Michelle Nicholas and Kit Kat.
He was talked to a couple times by detectives, but they hit a roadblock and things went cold.
How does it feel to get another one?
It feels amazing. I mean, it's incredible, you know, for the families. I mean, that's...
Man, I gotta go back because there was another point.
So it'll be in the super form, the booking paperwork, but also an affidavit, a search warrant I did. 8 years previous, he was in Arizona, and there was...
So look at there. He was in Arizona 8 years previous. Now I don't know if they're saying 8 years previous
The chat is moving so fast.
to right now or
Thank you.
before 1993.
Growing heart, growing heart.
Like in 85. Thanks, Elsinore. Like 1985, maybe. But apparently in Arizona, he did almost exactly the same thing.
There was a similar circumstance involving a sexual assault of a minor.
And I bet you
Come on,
he
everybody,
used
let's
ether.
see if we can get those likes over 400.
Because I couldn't find that one either in Arizona.
Had he ever been someone you looked at previously in the case?
Yes. Yeah, his name came up early on in the investigation in 1993. He was talked to a couple times by detectives, but they hit a roadblock and things went cold.
How does it feel to get another one?
It feels amazing. I mean, it's incredible, you know, for the families. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, I've been doing this job for 24 years and in major crimes for 14 years, and when we can, you know, bring some sort of justice to families, that's what it's all about.
Can you speak just briefly to the process, what CC provides for you and how you treat that as a lead, where it goes from there?
Yeah, and this is my first cold case, so I'm still learning. It's when you break it down, it's pretty simple. You have DNA, and you provide it to Parabon, you know, and there's a typing that's done. I think we use DNA Solutions in this case, and then that profile was then provided to Parabon and uploaded, compared to GEDmatch, and we get a report from CC, and she's amazing. I know that she didn't mention it, but I know that she
I
read
already
something
covered
or saw
that, Lena.
something
I
involving
already went over it.
Sharon
Thanks.
and her daughter's case, and she felt connected to that, and so she was really excited to work the case. When CC provided us the report, and I saw the name, or we saw the name Alan Dean in it, and we already knew that he was in the case file, that brought a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I bet. Like, oh wow.
CC, can you say how long it took you to track this suspect?
Well, initially, I thought that the DNA was too degraded. But after working the anti-dodge case in Idaho Falls, I realized that this case might be workable as well. So I went back to it. And once I did that, it took about a week, a lot of hours building trees forwards and backwards. I want to add a couple things. Snohomish County Sheriff's Office had the very first arrest that was made possible through, the very first arrest that was made possible through investigative genetic genealogy for Parabon. That was the second arrest in the country, with, of course, the Golden State Killer being the first. But Snohomish County Prosecuting Attorney's Office brought it to trial first. And so it was the very first conviction in the Jay Cook and Tanya Van Kylenberg case where the suspect was identified through investigative genetic genealogy. So that was really the beginning of this. And now my team at Parabon has helped with 118 successful identifications. And so people all over the country are finally getting answers, getting resolution, and violent criminals that have gone undetected for all these years and decades have been being outed by this. And so it's neat to be back here in Snohomish County with number 118. So it might be more widespread than most people realize. Outside of our team, there's probably at least 150 violent criminals that have been identified through investigative genetic genealogy. And it almost all started here. I mean, other than in Sacramento with the Golden State Killer case, Detective Sharp was the first one to embrace this. And your prosecuting attorneys were the first to get a conviction through a jury trial. So Snohomish County has been really key in the developments in this field. I just want to thank them for that. They've made so much of this possible.
Why did you feel connected to this case?
Well, whenever I'm looking at the data on a case to assess whether it's viable for genetic genealogy, I try to read articles about the case and get some idea of what it's all about. So it's not just data-driven, but also what are we trying to find here and who's involved. And I read that Melissa's mom had expressed some concern to the media that her daughter's case had been forgotten about. And I don't want any mother, any family member ever to feel like their case has been forgotten about. And I knew that Detective Sharp and the Sheriff's Office had not forgotten about it, but I wanted Melissa's mother to know that as well. And so it really inspired me to give this case a try, even though we were working with highly degraded DNA. And although I didn't know her, I've thought of her many, many times over the ensuing months and hoped that this would give her some peace. I know we can't give closure, but maybe some resolution on it.
And Sheriff Fortney, how does it feel for you?
Hey, she thinks like I do about closure.
County as they're solving these cases and making all this progress.
Well, let's be clear, this started years ago, okay? I couldn't be prouder of the work these guys are doing. And that's kind of, yeah, I will shout from the rooftops the hard work that these folks do every day. That's why this stuff is so important. Like I've already said, it takes time, it takes money. They've flown all around the country on this case and others. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of the work these guys are doing, absolutely.
Can anyone from the panel depict the day of finding Melissa and the frantic nature of the search, the weather? Was anybody there from the panel? Nobody in this room was there at the time. Those detectives have moved on, they retired. I've been in contact with them. They're aware of what's going on, and they're very, very happy and very excited for the family.
What was the arrest yesterday? How'd that go down? Was he cooperative?
It was uneventful. Yeah. So I got to get out of here. I have things to do. I'm sorry, don't mean to be rude, but we're busy, so anything?
Yeah. Yep, keep on going.
Appreciate it.
Then the sheriff comes on and says, wait, hold on.
I'll add one thing, and one thing only, on what he just said. When we say this went off without incident, there is a whole lot of planning that goes into something like that. Like I said, this happened a long time ago, but this guy was just as dangerous, and we wanted to make certain that nothing else happened. So I also give thanks to our Violent Offender Task Force and those partnerships there. They do this every single day. A lot of their work goes unheard of. But when we say we arrested somebody without incident, that's easy to say, it's one sentence. A whole lot of planning and work went into that, though. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys very much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
So there you go. That's the guy right there. Look at that. That's what he looked like about then. You know, Keanu Reeves' ugly brother. And then this is what he looks like now. Look at it. The eyes are exactly the same. Look at that. You know, now it just looks like a total ogre, but look at the eyes, man. Yeah, psycho. Psycho eyes. You know, he probably was like, dude, like, no way, man. He looks like Keanu Reeves in that one. Remember when he was, they were the idiots? What were the ones where they, like he and that other guy from Saturday Night Live were idiots? What are you talking about, Anon? I don't no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. There you go. Okay, well, that case is solved, thank God. And then there's another case that was solved too today. Differently, but I think it was solved a while ago. This article's from, there was just made an arrest or charged the person, but this is from 2019. DNA testing has linked former long-distance truck driver to a 1997 Medina County rape case and 4 unsolved homicides, 3 in Ohio and 1 in Illinois. Ohio attorney. So this guy's a serial killer truck driver that none of us have heard of, okay? Samuel William Legg III is his name, okay? That he's a serial killer trucker yet again. Oh no, Gray, I've been studying him for a long time. I want everybody to think I'm really cool. Samuel William Legg III was 49 during this time. So, gosh, in 1997, you know, he was in his early 20s when he was being a serial killer. Yo said none of the homicides occurred in Medina County. He said the killings happened in the 90s, both before and after Medina rape case. Medina County prosecutor S. Forrest Thompson said the rape victim, who was 17 when she reported being assaulted at a speedway at Interstate 71 and U.S. Route 224 in Westfield Township, is pleased that charges have at least been filed. The new developments began in December in another Ohio county with an investigation of an unsolved murder by the Bureau of Criminal Identification and Investigation and prosecutors. Investigators took a sample from an unknown male who was a suspect in the murder and looked at familial DNA, which searches for Y chromosomes shared by men in the same family. The search led them to the results from a rape kit from the unsolved Medina County rape case, indicating the person responsible was the same family as the person tied to the murder, Yo said. Yeah, so, they, tracked down this leg guy based on DNA. I'm putting some air out of my neck thing for a second. And then this is what he looked like back in 1990. Hold on a second. It's going to take a second. Jeez. It's like it's frozen. Try it again. Interesting. There it is, right there. So he looks a little bit more normal, kind of doesn't look evil in that picture. It's not like you look at that and go, "Oh man, he looks evil." Yeah, I think it's in Ohio, yeah. So here's the article from today. Suspected serial killer charged in Lake County cold case murder from 1990s. A 52-year-old Arizona man has been charged with strangling a woman to death in Lake County over 20 years ago and is suspected of killing several other in Ohio, police announced. An arrest warrant for Samuel William Legg III. Thank you,
Everyone
Michelle
just
Nicholas.
now coming into chat, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It only takes a second.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. An arrest warrant for Samuel William Legg III, 52, of Chandler, Arizona, was approved on Wednesday. The Lake County Sheriff's Office, Cold Case Unit, Federal Bureau, FBI, Lake County State Attorney's Office, Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, authorities in Medina County, Wood County, blah, 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 all over the place. Lake County Sheriff John Eidelberg announced the charges against Legg in the 1997 murder of Julie A. Conkle. That's somebody I could not find any articles about as well. Conkle's body was found behind an abandoned truck stop at Old Route 41 and Russell Road, and the address was 43067 Old Route 41. Could not find that at all. Okay, so an autopsy was conducted, and Conkle's death was ruled a homicide caused by asphyxiation. The sheriff's office conducted an extensive investigation, and her case went cold after all leads were exhausted. In 2006, the Combined DNA Index, CODIS, linked DNA collected from Conkle's homicide with a 1996 homicide in Wood County. So it's amazing, like they knew there was a link already, but they had to wait till technology advanced to be able to actually determine who the person was. And again in 2012 with a 1992 homicide. So now there's 3 homicides that he left his semen in. Or somehow his DNA was on the scene. The DNA was said to have been from an unknown male at the time. Legg's DNA was not logged in CODIS because he had not been arrested or convicted of a felony since collecting began, which resulted in the collected DNA samples being labeled as an unknown male. The unknown male contributor's DNA was tested in 2018 to look for familial or indirect connection. Thanks, Vicky H. Well, it's cool that you're familiar, but those roads don't exist anymore. Legg was an over-the-road truck driver working in Midwest and living in Ohio at the time. Medina, Ohio authorities obtained an arrest warrant in January 2019 for Legg in a separate 1997 sexual assault case. Right. So that was the one that we just talked about a minute ago. Legg was living in Arizona at the time and was arrested and extradited to Ohio. He was then interviewed by Lake County Sheriff's detectives and Ohio authorities regarding the homicides. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office approved the first-degree murder charges for Legg in the Conkle case. A judge set the bond on Legg's warrant for $3 million. We are so thankful we were able to... Let's see down here. This is a case... Or let's see. This case has been a dark cloud hanging over Lake County for nearly 25 years, but through gallant effort and tenacity of numerous law enforcement agencies and police involved, a murderer will finally answer for his crime. There you go. Crazy, huh? So another case solved. Like I've said, DNA, this whole DNA revolution is amazing. And all the states and municipalities that are dragging their, leg, they're just not doing it, dragging their feet. They're idiots, okay? Especially like a state like New York. What a bunch of clowns over there, okay? Like they could have been using this. They should have been the first people to get on top of this. But they didn't want to. Because it's just not cool. I don't know what would be the holdup of using it. Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't find 43067 Old Route 41. I even checked on the internet and it's not in the right location. It just isn't there. Yeah. All right. I don't think there's been very many of these solved in Oregon, though. I don't remember. There's not a lot of these genealogy cases being solved here. I think they may have done it in that one case late last year where she went to the same high school that I went to, but I can't remember if that's how they figured it out, who she was. I can't remember now. Yeah. Well, anyways, everybody, that's all the stories that I have for tonight. But that was pretty compact, went right through them all, right? Yeah, well, Oregon's just, Oregon's an embarrassment, okay? Other than the actual physical state itself, it's a joke, okay? The land is beautiful, everything's great like that, but just the politics and general people are just, God, it's embarrassing. Supporting just shit. What does that mean? We're looking in Illinois for the Lake County load. What does that even mean, Susie? Who's we? What do you mean? I don't get it. Nah, California, I don't know. Too many people in California. That's why they all move up here. Not a big California person. They have some pretty areas and whatnot, but it say were you. I don't know what that means, Susie B. Again, I'm confused. Oh, were you looking? No, I wasn't. I wasn't looking for anything in Illinois. I thought you said we are. We're. But there was no apostrophe, so I don't know why I thought that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember covering one in Lake County, Illinois. I wasn't looking at that case. Yeah, I wasn't covering that one. I just brought it up in that article. I was just talking about the Ohio case. The one that the main article was about. That today he was charged with the murder of Julie A. Conkle. And that's an unusual last name, and her name never showed up in any articles at all in newspapers.com. Yeah, we've been talking about it for a long time, CC. Like, a ton. We've been covering, you know, at least a year, 2 years of the cases covered with DNA over and over again. Yeah. Did any of you guys go back and watch the press conference? I mean, the hearing yesterday with the Attorney General Barr, just so you could see what I was talking about. When I turned on CNN, you know what they said on there? This is what's scary, everybody. See, Anderson Cooper, he said, "Can you believe how Barr acted in there? I've never seen anything like it. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane." See, it just shows you how demented CNN is. They would not let Attorney General Barr answer one question. They kept reclaiming their time over and over again. They were so rude to the guy. It was absolutely incredible. And CNN, with Anderson Cooper, blamed it all on Barr. It was absolutely... And it just shows you right there. Like, anybody with a brain that watched that would have been ashamed of how he was treated. Yeah, the CNN, man, I don't know. They're thankfully they don't really have high ratings, but it's scary. Wow. Yeah, so you guys got to go check that out. I mean, on your own time, just watch like 20 minutes of it. And they just kept painting this crazy narrative over and over again of Barr, and he kept saying, no, well, let me answer. No, I don't want to. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming. And they all said the same thing. It's like they got together before the hearing and said, listen, do not let him answer anything. Just reclaim your time. Shout him down. Do not let him, That's what they had to have done to have it work the way it worked. You know what I should have... This is what I wish Barr would have said. I wish he just would have stopped in the middle of it and said, listen, I am done with this hearing. If you guys want to invite me back and allow me to answer questions, I will come back, but you guys are an absolutely disrespectful clowns, and I'm leaving. And just walk the hell out the door. I think everybody would have clapped for him. Okay? It was a joke. And I'm just bringing that up because I want to. So even if you disagree and you hate Barr because he's a Trump person, you're an idiot if you don't think he was treated disrespectfully. Okay? No matter what. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means you're an idiot. Yeah, and then every time... Here's another thing that's kind of freaky, too. So even when Trump gives his daily... like the press briefings about the coronavirus, CNN won't cover it. Okay, they made up this whole narrative. Oh, he puts out this fake stuff, so we don't... You know, what they don't want is for him to ever look presidential to anybody else so that they can help win the election. They are an absolute embarrassment. You know, it's crazy. It's weird. You know, it's when they sit there and say the Russian collusion is trying to affect the election. Well, maybe you're doing that, CNN. Do you ever think of that? That maybe you're trying to affect the election by not reporting on news? Yeah, he doesn't do them every day. Just doesn't. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't do them every day either. They're just, you know, people just find any way in hell to find a way to twist it around. And look at CNN still talking about how the whole hydroxychloroquine thing. They just had the study that came out recently it showed that it was promising. Okay, and it discredited the original report. So now CNN's still putting out the same lie that they talked about before. It's weird. You know, I'm not saying it's the greatest, you know, like, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know. I'm just saying they don't. Here's the thing: CNN, hydroxychloroquine could be great. Let's just pretend it was. They would cut it down into oblivion because Trump likes it, and they can't have him have anything work. Yeah. And I understand why people don't like Trump and everything. And I'm not saying everything. Trump says stuff that I'm like, oh, Jesus. You know? But I'm just trying to tell, I want people to look at stuff rationally. Okay? Like, literally look at it and then go, wow, that is weird. How come that other report just refuted what they said, but now they're still saying that? That's weird. Okay, anyways. What time have we got here? I got, thanks, Teresa. Wow. Let's see. Kufanikos. You must be Greek. Did I get that right? Thank you. One more case, please. Oh, I don't have any more. I don't have another case. Yeah, there's no way in hell. I mean, I think the odds of him winning are so low unless something, you know, the debates just show. But here's the thing, is everybody who's voting for Biden, they realize they're not voting for Biden. They all realize they're actually voting for whoever he picks to be the vice president nomination. Okay? They know that. So that's who they're voting for. Because Biden won't last a year mentally. He is literally has dementia. And I think everybody kind of knows that for sure. Like, if you just go watch him speak 3 years ago and then look how he speaks now. It's not even close. Hey, thanks, Michelle Nicholas and Cairo. Thank you.
Come on, everyone, still coming in. Hit that thumbs up, 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 thumbs up.
There you go, see? Look at all those thumbs up. Let me ask you this. For those people out there that, I mean, I don't mind if you're a Democrat or anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Is there anybody out there that thinks that Biden's mind is sharp right now? I mean, put a 1 if you think he's really sharp and he knows what he's doing. And I won't bash you. I'll just be like, wow.
I hear the end of the month donation is coming soon. Here's a little more towards it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you don't have to put anything. I just think he barely knows where he's at most of the time. So that's scary, right? I mean, it's scary that that person will get enough people to vote for him. You'd rather have somebody whose mind doesn't even work over Trump because you just don't like him. I think he's older than Trump. I don't know. Maybe they're about the same. Yeah, do you think it's going to be... I think it might be Kamala Harris, too. That's what it's sounding like. He had this little document in his hand. And don't you think it's weird when he has the press conferences, Biden? He literally has a list that he reads off of which organization is going to ask him a question. Like, he's looking on a sheet. Okay, yeah, John Smith over at Reuters, thanks. Well, shit, he probably has the question mapped out. Trump just picks somebody and wings it, you know? Yeah, this is disadvantage sometimes, but at the same time, he does it. It's not just some weird... I'm so frustrated. What's wrong with you, Dar? Are you okay? Seriously? Wow. You must like Biden. Right, Commodore? Do you like Biden? He's really doing it for you mentally? Okay. Yeah, so Biden's even older than... See, here's the thing is, Biden right now is like Reagan was a year after his presidency mentally. Wow, we're almost at 400 likes? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris at all. I think she's a nightmare. Ah, look how stupid. See, look at Commodore right there with their idiotic comment there. Surprise! Someone as smart as you, who I've been watching for years, is for Trump. Well, I'm surprised someone as stupid as you are into an idiot like Biden who can't think. How about that? Okay. All right, cool. See, that's how liberals are right there. How that girl just acted right there. That's how they act. If you don't agree with what they're saying, you are some pariah now. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of Trump. Okay, like, wow, Trump is the greatest. I'm saying he's smarter than Biden is. His brain is shot. Okay? Yeah. See, that's the problem with a lot of... And I'm not saying all liberals, but a lot of liberals, if you don't believe, just like the politics of liberalism, if you don't believe what they are saying or agree, then they don't want you to speak. Okay? Don't speak if you don't agree. It's the whole mentality. Like, liberals are very open-minded as long as you agree with them. You see, and that was an example right up there. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the political side of it. Just look how it goes on TV. Hey, Commodore, don't be a passive-aggressive idiot. You just went after me a minute ago, so now I'm going after you. Okay? So don't pretend, oh, wow, I never thought I would be the one you went after. Oh, shit. Right after you just insulted me a minute ago? Sure. Okay. Good night, Susie B. Yeah, I'm not sure it's really the far left. It's sort of the... it's becoming more mainstream. Like, let's watch CNN for a second. You know, just watch CNN and MSNBC, all the people in the media, everybody. It's the same kind of thing. You know, if you don't say exactly what they say... I know, I don't know why this... See, I don't even agree with whatever the hell her name is. This isn't really I don't think she's ever even watched my channel. Never seen her name before. Don't give a damn. Don't care if you watch ever again. Really don't care. I can't listen. She said, okay, I can't listen to you bashing people for their choices. I didn't bash anybody for their choices. Oh my god. See you later, Commodore. Go find some other channel, you idiot. I don't care. But I'm just saying, if you think that Biden's brain is working well right now, there's something wrong with you. Thanks, Teresa. Kufa Nikos. Yeah, and I don't dislike anybody, but what that person just did a minute ago in there was come in and do the little bashing, passive-aggressive technique, and then when you go back at them, they pretend that I was the one. Yeah, we really are, Ada. It's going to be crazy. There's a good chance of happening, too.
Great show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he showed up right at the end. Probably the part you didn't want to watch. Okay? Chronic reader. Probably the part you didn't want to watch. But yeah, it was... I don't know, it's scary times, man. Because you can't have a thought anymore. There's no way to have a conversation. Let's say we really all wanted to have a conversation about what we think, how to fix racism in America. Well, you can't really do it, because if it doesn't fit exactly what BLM says is the problem, then you're wrong and you'll be shunned and avoided, okay? So instead, we just have to all shut the hell up and cow down and, you know, it's just weird. I hate it. Why can't we just have a conversation? Let's see what happens. Yeah. It's
Don't
just
be a
it's such a
Her
weird
viscous
time right
woman,
now.
Fairy, medium skin tone.
Such a strange time. What are you talking about, Commodore? What the hell are you talking about? See, look at that. See, that's what I mean. She's a troll. Look at this shit right here. Would have escaped concentration if they would have charged the machine. Yeah. So, wait, you're saying that his brain's working just fine, Commodore? Is that what you're saying? God, she's crazy. I think there might have been a time I have said that yes. See, here's the thing: when when the Nazis had control, there was a lot of people that were lined up to go in there, right? Well, then you're stupid. If you think that Biden's brain is good, Commodore, you are an idiot. Okay. But I don't have any ill will towards you. You're just an idiot if you think he is functioning correctly. Okay, what I've said before is they all thought that they were still going to live, okay? They all thought that they were going to live, and had they all attacked at the same time, even though a lot of them would have died, some of them might have been able to escape, okay? So it's just like people should just, when you're in a no-win situation, just go for it, because you're going to die anyways, right? God, she's so stupid. Like, what a dumb comparison, too, you know? Like, it's just... Well, how much you want to bet Biden comes down with a mysterious case of because just before the debates. because he would not he will not make it through a debate unless they just fling him softball questions with the questions known prior. No, Commodore, there's something wrong with you. Okay, there's something wrong with you. And I've never seen you in there before, and nor am I interested in your opinion on. It shows that you have a lack of judgment if you think that Biden is working with a full deck right now. Go watch him speak just even 3 years ago, and then watch him speak now. It's a world of different. Not even close. He doesn't know where he is half the time. I don't know what Delphi is. I don't care. Lots of people message me. I get messages all the time.
Someone told
I don't
me
care
to
who
shut
you are,
up because
Damakar,
I'm white
Dar.
on Instagram. How rude, lol. Love ya, grey heart.
Thanks, Sarah Jen. And Kika Keys up there. Yep. Anyways, I just want people to be honest. Nobody out there, even if you support the Democrats, I mean, I know I play golf with like a bunch of people, and out of 12 people, I can't play now, but when I was playing, like a few months back, out of the 12 of us, probably 11 are Democrats, because I live in Oregon, right? And none of them thought Biden's brain was working correctly. But they're all going to vote for him because they hate Trump. Okay, so that's the reality we're working with here, everybody. So I just want you to be honest with it. Don't try to pretend that his brain's working well because you want to vote for him, and it'll make you feel better to think that. Why is that? Yeah, well, in Oregon, yeah, I'm like a fish out of water. You know, I'm hold on a second. Oh, wife came home. So. Hypocrite detector, hypocrite detector. Oh, there's the guy again. There's the yeah. There's the person from last night that showed up. Same sentences. Well, it's great that you have an opinion, Commodore, but it just means that you're not paying attention, and then your future opinions become less valued, because if you actually think that Biden's brain is sharp right now, that he is just like he was 8-10 years ago, then there's something wrong with your observational skills, and therefore almost anything that you might say in the future gets, has less value to me. Okay? Okay. Yeah, that's great. I think the odds of Trump winning are very low. I would rather have him win over Biden as Biden is now. But let me just say this: if Biden was anything like he was 15 or 20 years ago, I wouldn't care that much if he won, because he was a centrist Democrat. Now he's turned into a hard left, caving into every single thing. Even his choice is going to have to be for VP.
I love Biden's story about the hair on his legs at the swimming pool.
Oh yeah, what was that one? I just heard that the other day. Right, but I wouldn't have minded if Biden won the way he was about 20 years ago, or even 10. You know, he was kind of middle of the road Democrat. But now, even his VP pick is going to be about hard left as you can possibly get, and he's moving hard left. You know, defunding cops. I mean, what a joke. Yeah, everybody's. You know, but the thing is Biden's natural tendency would be to be in the middle. Okay, it could be, the scary part is nobody's voting for Biden. You're voting for the VP. That's the truth. Yeah, and he is, Mary. Here's the thing is Biden has an accuser against him for sexual assault, but because it was their team, they all just washed it under the, crazy Uncle Joe. He was probably, Don't you get a little bit embarrassed of that? Of course, when it was Kavanaugh, it was all real, even though it was some 40-year-old story with a... I know. Listen, everybody. I want to vote for Mike Rowe for President of the United States. Okay? That's who I want to be president. You know, I'm not a fan of Trump's, you know, some of the stuff that he says and the way he says things. Okay? He's too cavalier about shit, doesn't think through it, and then it turns into a nightmare. He could be on a total roll, everything's doing great, and he'll say something absolutely stupid, and then it takes all the focus off the great thing, and I don't get that. He's too into his, you know, he's too much of an ego, okay? That's the part that bothers me about it. But when you look at what he's accomplished, he's done a lot, you know? And what has he really done that was horrible? You know, this whole thing about... Yeah, Stacey Galloway is just hanging out with family and whatnot. Yeah, he wasn't a seasoned politician. Yeah, and one of the things about his ego is he feels like he needs to always pump his ego up because the media is so cruel about every single thing that he does. So he goes out there and then he has to always say, well, I did this, I shut down the flights to China over and over again. Because it doesn't matter what he does, they're going to spin it to make it look horrible, and nobody's ever going to say anything positive. So then he feels like he's going to... But he doesn't really need to do that because it just looks dumb, you know? It looks bad every time he keeps repeating the same stuff. Oh, I stopped the flights to China. I did this. Nobody'd ever heard of the virus before. You know, it's just a lot of stuff he says, he just kind of wings it, and you can't do that. You got to be really precise when you have a tragedy and a crisis going on. You have to speak really precisely. I would actually read teleprompters or know the shit before you get out there, and then leave the room after answering a couple questions. Answer them, and even answer the snotty questions politely, and then walk out of the room and go, yeah, well, it's a good question, and answer it, and then say, okay, everybody, great to see you. I'll see you next time. And just get the hell out of there. Yeah, he's not a politician, and it matters sometimes. You know, when he makes fun of people when they say he should act more presidential, and he makes fun of that, which is funny when he does it, but at the same time, there's something to that. People need somebody that acts in a way that gives them a feeling of comfort. And I will say, though, early on in the coronavirus, when he would come out, he made people feel like there was hope and comfort, and it kept people... But the thing is the media would take everything he said and turn it into a catastrophe to try to ruin the positive vibes that he was sending people. He knew what the issues were, but he was just trying to make everybody feel like there's hope. Okay, remember the hydroxychloroquine comments? All these kind of things. Hey, we're doing on this. We're light speed. We're getting this going. We're doing this. And you know what's crazy? Right now, the stock market, the 401k plans of every citizen that has one didn't get wiped out because of him. Okay? It kept the stock market, got enough enthusiasm, things were being done, and I didn't, you know, it's amazing that the economy, what was it? The Dow went to 18,000 after being up to 30,000. And everybody got wiped out, but then it so quickly came soaring back. And that's because of him. He did all the things that allowed that to happen. So people should remember that their 401ks didn't get wiped out. Yeah, I'm just trying to be honest. Like when I see political stuff, I mean, I'm honest here. I'm not trying to, I'm literally saying I think Biden has dementia, early stages or even into it. I think it's really obvious if you just listen to him when he doesn't have a teleprompter. It's scary, actually. So whoever you're voting for, you're voting for the VP when you're voting for Biden. Okay? So if you want a really hard lefty that he's going to pick, that's who you're going to be voting for when you vote for him. Because he won't be president very long. He'll be deemed incapable or just propped up for 3 or 4 years and then pushed out. And then also, I mean, does anybody care that all of the things that Trump was accused of, that CNN and all these people pushed and pushed and pushed, were false? The Russia hoax, because that's what it was. There was no Russian collusion. There was no obstruction of justice. There was nothing. All of it collapsed, but nobody remembers that. They just... Now, the really important stuff is how that all came about. They're investigating that. But guess what? CNN and MSNBC will not cover that for a second. How it was absolutely unethical what they were doing. And it started in the Obama administration and Susan Rice. Right. So that's it, right, Moon Patch? It's crazy. I noticed my viewers dropped from 500 down to 333, but that's okay. Look at the... How many likes we got? 400? I only see 352 on my end. Well, that's what I've said, Ada, that I thought maybe they would pick Michelle Obama, but I think it's going to be Kamala Harris, actually. So I hope you guys don't mind what I'm talking about here tonight. I mean, I just kind of went on a rant. I was going to get off 25 minutes ago, but, you know. So, you know, what I'm saying I feel is pretty real. Okay? I do not believe at all that Trump is racist whatsoever. But the left has done a great job spinning him into one. Because they're really good at just a consistent message and being able to spin anything he says into that. I think he's absolutely not racist whatsoever. There's not one thing he's ever said that's racist whatsoever. But the way that they want to interpret it, it always turns out that way. I mean, look at that. If he was racist, you know, just look at... you know, I don't even want to go over it. I think it's just weird when people say that. It's like their mind just got warped. They got suckered in with the Kool-Aid. That's what's so scary right now, everybody. It's the media and the messaging and how they're doing it and how they're... Most of the media, the education system, they're all part of the same team. And there's going to be a point where there's no return. There won't ever be a backlash back to... Like, let's say the Democrats win this time. I think it just could keep going and going and going. We'll turn into a completely different type of country that will just be no free speech anymore. You can only say what's approved, and it's scary times. And I know that sounds a little conspiratorial, but I don't think it is. It's literally, you can see it happening right now. Nah, I don't think so, Nicole. I don't think so. I think that's just what you only hear what you want to hear, Nicole Kyle. See, that's the thing, is you only hear what you want to hear. Other people just listen to the full story. You get the little snippets and then think, oh my God, yeah, he's a racist, oh my God. You know, I actually go back and watch the whole thing in context and go, oh my God, he wasn't saying that at all. So, yeah. Yep. That's okay, I can disagree with... I don't mind. I just don't agree with some of the stuff, because I've really thought about a lot of this stuff. It's not like it just popped into my head 2 days ago and now I'm yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty scary times. Pretty scary times. Nah, he's not, Nicole. I'm sorry. You're just incorrect. Unfortunately. For yourself. Well, then why are you even here commenting, Nicole Kyle? I'm not interested in anything you have to say now. Okay? Thank you, but you aren't here to witness my viewing of the news. What an idiot. Jesus. No, I'm not going to agree to disagree. The truth is you're wrong, Nicole Kyle. And that's just the truth. Okay? There isn't an opinion here. Okay? Donald Trump is not racist. Okay? Thank you. That's just a fact, you know. You just believe the shit that you believe in, so. Ah, Jesus. No, yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. I think it's racist when you call somebody a racist with no evidence. Because that means you're trying to promote another race over the one that you're cutting down to try to make the other one look better. Right. See, like, you know, the part when he was saying something about, you know, Mexico's not exporting their best, they're sending over their, you know, he was saying that, you know, some of the people they're sending over they're the worst of the worst. Okay? And then all of a sudden, everyone said that, oh, he called everybody in Mexico those people. He didn't do that. It is a baseless claim. I mean, hell, racist. I mean, look at his son-in-law is Jewish, right? God, I don't know, man. I just think it's so crazy. I mean, he's the one that's done prison reform. He's done a ton of different things working with the black community. But all of those are passed on when he's doing these roundtables. You won't see it on CNN when it's a live feed on Fox News of him sitting around a table with like 15 African American leaders all talking about great things that he's done. But you won't see that on CNN because it doesn't fit what they want you to see. But I watch all of them so that I can see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she converted. Shock, surprise, done. Oh my God. Oh my God, Commodore. People care what you think. Oh my God. Doesn't everybody care what Commodore has to say? Her thoughts are so important to all of us. She is the harbinger of truth. She is the moral superiority king of the world, or queen. She is amazing. If we could all just be like her, it would be so awesome. wow. Maybe tomorrow when we wake up, we'll all have this weird sort of dream that Biden is now not insane. Yep. Yes. Right. Yeah. So here's what I would do to solve the issues. I would start a new group called All Black Lives Matters. All Black Lives Matter. And I would have part of the organization focus in, the majority of the organization focus in on the crime in the inner cities, to make sure that the murder rate drops dramatically. And then I would increase the education systems in those areas to give them the best chance to do whatever the hell they want to do in life. Yeah, inner city, right? Okay? So that's the way to get started here. And then I would also do the police reform in terms of, train people a little differently. Get rid of the cops that have a bunch of records of them being, doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. Like the one guy that had his knee on the neck of George was, he had like 10 or 15 bad citations. I mean, why is he even training anybody? Get rid of those people. But defunding police is a travesty. We need just as many police right now as we've had before. You just need to train them better and maybe try to figure out some little less lethal ways in a situation where, the person doesn't have a weapon on them. I don't understand some of the shit that goes on. We all see those problems. They exist. So I would fix that, and I would also focus a lot on all the murders that are happening in the inner city. Because does anybody not think that that's a problem when the murder rate is 4 times the rate in that community? Yeah, it was funny. I think the mayor, I don't know if it was Portland or where that was, but he was like, yeah, forget it. And then all of a sudden, his building got attacked. I don't know if that was Portland, but then he was all, hey, where are the police? You mean the same ones you didn't want around the day before? Yeah. A lot of children getting killed. Yeah, a lot of kids are getting killed. A lot of murders in the inner city. And it's, a lot of them are on themselves. It's not like literally most of them are, they're killing themselves. There isn't a racial component to it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, see, notice how I can't speak and use the, just regular terms. You just have to be kind of like... "4 months off of work. Sweet." Good for you, Steve. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just reading the comments people are making. What was the what are you guys talking about, Antonio? What I couldn't find what you guys were originally speaking about. Thanks, Kit Kat. Well, what Mike S. said is, you know, most of these cities that are have all the riots going on are democratically run cities. So that's the truth. Because they're the ones that aren't willing to combat, you know, and everybody keeps saying how peaceful the protests are, and everybody's only focusing in on the bad stuff. Well, look as soon as they go violent, that's all that matters at that point. I don't care if there was 18 people singing Kumbaya, and then 30 minutes later, people were taking baseball bats, smashing windows, and attacking people with them. Oh, he did say that. Yeah, Biden did say that. He just misspoke as he normally does. But yeah, he meant to say 120,000, but he said 120 million. That was a true thing that he said. Oh yeah, maybe we can get Geraldo to break through the wall and see if he can find the lost safe. So here I am, everybody. You can see me again. I'm sitting here. I don't know if it's going to there I am. At the bottom down there. Got the little pillow thing blowing up my face. So my face looks deformed. It really doesn't look like that. I mean, honest to God out there, are there any Democrats in here that think the protests have been peaceful? Like, that's what we should be... see, peaceful protesting should be sort of the norm. Okay? But when there's rioting and people getting killed... I just saw this one from yesterday. It was really one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. It was like animals attacking people. It was scary. Scary times. But is there anybody out there that really think that's just everything's been really peaceful? And I mean, is it working when CNN tells you that everything's peaceful and that it's only the Republicans focusing in on the negative part? I find that kind of hard to believe. Yeah, right. But they're part of the same event, though. So there's peaceful protesting, and then all of a sudden the anarchist types come in and start bashing and destroying things. What's gaslighting? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think that's an overused term, by the way. I'm the air in your lungs? Well, you're the wind beneath my wings. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, but here's the thing. Here's the truth, though, Stephanie, is they're only showing people on CNN the few moments when it was peaceful, like panning around to the peaceful part. Look how great it was.
You're the air in my lungs, Gray.
So it's not necessarily gaslighting. They're just leaving out the true rest of the information. Do you guys like my the look here? Yeah. Man, I can't wait till tomorrow to read the comments. They're going to hate this last part. Gray! This is what it's going to sound like. What? Let me see if I can.
Gray, I want watch your show so that I can watch about crime, not politics.
It's weird that Mary Lou's voice has an extra little sound. I gotta figure out where that's coming from. Nah, I don't know, Benjamin. I think the media has done and the Democrats have done such a great job of painting a false picture of him that, you know, it's going to be hard for him to recover this time. But who knows, you know? Polls were wrong the last time. Who knows? I've heard that a lot of Republicans are refusing to even answer the polls. So if that's true, that'd be kind of weird. But no, I can't, Muted Growl. I can't. And my name isn't Greg. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm done now. Okay. I probably stayed on 45 minutes too long. But I'm just telling you my perspective here. You guys do what you want, man. Go vote for who the hell you're going to vote for. Just know that you're not voting for Biden. You're voting for whoever the second choice is. Okay, but I'm going to go rest now. My neck's getting a little bit sore. All right. So I'm just going to go straight to the wrap. No flyby tonight. But listen, everybody, make sure that you're continuing to wash your hands with hand sanitizer. Make sure that you're wearing a mask when you go in public. Maintain your social distancing, and make sure that you're always washing your hands before you put anything in your mouth or anything like that. Okay? And listen, I'll still like you even if you vote for Biden. I'll always wonder, wow, but I'll still like you. I'm not like the other idiots who want to shun and avoid you if you don't agree with what they want to believe. Okay? But if you come in here and you attack me first, and then I attack you back, and then you bitch at me attacking you, then you're immediately going to be removed, okay? Because you're doing the passive-aggressive bullshit where you attack somebody, then they attack you back, and then you try to spin it around on them again. And that's really childish behavior, okay? I mean, very childish. Mind-boggling. All right, so thank you, Meredith McKinsey, Kit Kat, Cairo, Diana, I think it was Beggy, Raina Marie, Angie Pangy, Carla Hussey, Paisley Dreams, Jessica Schubach, Mysterious Monkey, BBT Boston, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Jody William, Miss Skiss, Zozo, Chrissy Paradis, Kit Kat, Rochelle Black, Chrissy Paradis. And let me go back to Angie Pangy. That was a double cat eye donation. BBT Boston, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Jody Williams, Zozo, Chrissy Paradis, Kit Kat, Rochelle Black, Chrissy Paradis, Patricia M, Tracy, Crystal Ann, Miss Skiss, Sarah Kinder, Michelle Nicholas, Kit Kat, Allison R, Michelle Nicholas again, Vicky H, Teresa Kufanikos. I think I'm saying that right. Michelle Nicholas again, Cairo, Juju Positive, Teresa Kufanikos again, Kika Keys, Sarah Jen, Kristen Cure, Sarita, Kika Keys again, Zozo, and Zozo. All right. That was hard. Yeah. It takes technique. It's the people that are passive aggressive, they practice it. A little bit like that Mar, or whatever the hell her name was earlier. She came in and said, "Oh my God, Gray, I used to think you had a brain, but now you..." And then I said, "Oh God, what an idiot. Oh, Gray, how dare you attack..." Oh, Jesus, give me a break. Wake up. All right. So hopefully you guys, we're all still friends. even though I wanted to just let you know what I was thinking. Okay? I'm sure I lost a few of them out there, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you don't tell me you think Biden's sharp as a tack. I just want to let you know that you have a rational mind. Oh wait, let me see. That's right, let me check out my email. I don't... my one eye... I don't know. I didn't get a... Oh yeah, well I did get... Earlier today, I got a... I think that was today. No, that was yesterday, one of them. And then I think it was Angela. Earlier in the day today. Did a PayPal. So thank you very much. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, oops. Shoot. Oh man, you always have to have this one window open or you can't close it down at some point. So there we go. I just want to make sure. Is that what you were talking about up there? The half cat eye? There. Anyways, yep, I got those. Really appreciate it, you guys. Gonna be able to make a good donation on Friday. And tomorrow I have my telemedicine with UW, so hopefully that goes well. And I hope you guys got something out of the stories that we covered early on. And if you didn't get anything out of the politics stuff at the end, I'm sorry, but I'm just letting you know what I think. And if it makes you not like me, well then you're not somebody that I want to have like me in the first place, because that should have nothing to do with anything. I just think differently than you. Just like I'll like you if you moronically think that Biden is still has a great brain and he's smart. You like that one? Oh yeah. Yep, that's right. All right, everybody. So thank you guys all very much for showing up tonight. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector,
interceptor. Good on meaner than a spectre with a vector.
On his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
get right
man.
back to work. All right, everybody. Talk to you.
Hey, I thought that was pretty interesting, Ray, especially the part about Joe Biden. Yeah, he is a little bit crazy at this point, isn't he?
Wait, Mary Lou, come on. You don't really know anything about Joe Biden, do you? Are you even paying attention? What are you, about 8?
No, I'm 11. I listen to him all the time. He's really smart. He's really smart. I didn't like that part.
Oh, come on. Come on, you're crazy. Hey, listen. Good night, Mary Lou.
Good night, John Boy. God, you're so mean.
Man, those two, they can never just make it out of a show.